You set up? You feel organised? Oh, well, can be done. The sun's been a pain in the neck on the stage. I could move that to the back of everyone and point it towards stage if you prefer.
You're all nearly good to go?
We are good to go. You're on.
Excellent. Legs are top and top.
Depends on the back to go. Once we're actually on it, if there's different light, I'm not going to leave that camera closer. Everyone stands on the big camera.
Okay, do you want me to do that? We're ready to rock and roll?
We're ready.
Good morning, everybody. If you could just make yourself comfortable and we'll get this Australia Day on the road. Thank you.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and happy Australia Day. My name is Zach Pope, and together with Cam Coots, it is our pleasure to be your MCs for today's ceremony. We are the school captains of Naracoorte High School. On behalf of the Naracoorte-Lucindale Council, we warmly welcome you all here.
A big thank you to the service groups and community members who have provided the delicious breakfast this morning. Please put your hands together for them all.
With the Scouts and Guides, please assemble for the raising of the flag. Please stand for the national anthem and acknowledgement of country.
Australians, all let us rejoice, for we are one and free. We've golden soil and wealth for toil, our home is good by sea. Our land abounds in nature's gifts, all beauty rich and rare. In history's page let every stage advance Australia fair. In joyful strains that let us sing, advance Australia fair. Beneath our radiant southern cross we'll toil with hearts and hands to make this commonwealth of ours renowned of all the lands. For those who've come across the seas, we've boundless plains to share. With courage let us all combine to advance Australia fair. In joyful strains that let us sing, advance Australia fair.
I now invite Mayor Patrick Ross to come forward for the acknowledgement of country.
We acknowledge and respect the traditional owners of the ancestral lands. Naracoorte was a meeting place for the people of the southeast, just as we are today. The Bowendick to the south, the Meantongue to the west, ranging from Kingston, the Potawatomi to the north, and the Mardudali on the eastern side, ranging from the Little Desert in Victoria. We acknowledge the elders, past and present, and we respect the deep feelings of attachment and relationship of Aboriginal peoples to country. Please be seated. Thank you to all for joining us at our special celebrations for Australia Day this year. Today we come together to reflect and celebrate Australia Day 2023. We reflect on the resilience of our communities and the spirit of helping and giving that defines us as Australians. We celebrate our identity and the values that unite us, to illuminate the achievements of inspirational Australians, and to promote and welcome an inclusive society, reminding Australians how good we can be when we are at our best. We have received apologies today from our federal member for Barker, Mr Tony Passon, and member for MacKillop, Mr Nick McBride, both of who pass on their best wishes for a successful event. Mr Passon also forwarded this message to be read on his behalf. Thank you for your invitation to celebrate Australia Day with the community. Unfortunately, I'm unable to join you as I have accepted invitations elsewhere in the electorate today. On January 26, Australians from around the nation and those living around the world reflect on what it means to be Australian. We acknowledge and celebrate the contribution of every person to this land, from the Indigenous people who have been here for more than 65,000 years, and to new immigrants who will become citizens this week. We are all Australians. We all share a stake in our future. We all have responsibilities to each other. We all have something to celebrate. This truly is a nation of freedom and opportunity, even in tough times. As Australians, we strive to better ourselves while at the same time supporting others. To those who volunteer in your community, thank you. Your contribution, whether large or small, is what makes this nation great. To those and to those who will proudly join our Aussie family today, becoming Australian citizens, we say welcome to the greatest country on earth. Love your country, be proud of our flag, be proud of who we are and what we can achieve together. Today, I encourage you to celebrate what it means to be Australian, to work hard, to contribute to community, a sense of mateship, of belonging and of prosperity. Today, and indeed every day, let us remember that irrespective of our place of birth, we are united in our common Australian values. Happy Australia Day, Tony Passon, MP for Barker. A little earlier this week, and it wasn't advertised at all, I asked Mr. Didar Ali whether he would actually come and present today his understanding of what it is to be an Australian. Mr. Didar Ali, please come forward. Very good. Now, if you just stand here for a moment. Very good, thank you. Now, I'm delighted to introduce our guest speaker for this year's Australia Day ceremony, Mr. Didar Ali. Since settling in Naracoorte after fleeing his home country of Afghanistan to escape the Taliban, Didar has established himself and his family in the community and operates a successful small business in Robertson Street, the Daily Market. A valuable and active contributor to the Naracoorte community, Didar and his family generously and enthusiastically work as a team to serve Naracoorte's growing migrant population. Even more remarkably, Didar does all of this with a very limited sight, identifying most of the hundreds of items in his shop by feel or smell. Please welcome our guest, Didar Ali.
Good morning. For those people who don't know me, my name is Didar Ali. I'm from Afghanistan, which is first my home country. I did a lot of sport, which is soccer, running, volleyball, and cricket. I do have more activity, which is farming, work, and business. I came to Australia because I ran away from war. When I was born, there was a war. Was war. That way, until now, that is, I left Afghanistan. I will never forget the people. I will never forget the people starting war in Afghanistan. More than 10 million people had died or left country. And neither will Afghanistan people. My family and myself are grateful that we live in Australia. In Australia, more than 260 languages speak or live in Australia. Because Australia have a good law, everyone following by law. I have remember in Australia more than 20,000 people live. They live by bridging visa or temporary visa. I wish the government can help them get a visa. They can apply for family, bring in Australia. After that, we can celebrate Australian Day. Thanks for listening. Happy Australian Day. Thank you. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you, Dida. Truly inspirational. And he was meant to accept a gift, but I missed the moment. Josie should have been more prominent. We can move on. Presentations of award. It is now with great pleasure that Deputy Mayor Councillor Monique Crosling, somewhere, here she is, Councillor Monique Crosling and myself present this year's Naracoorte Australia Day Awards. We also invite Geraldine Matheson, Kate Roach and representatives of the Naracoorte High School's Pathways to Pay Packet community event and agricultural expo and field day to join us on the stage. The Naracoorte Citizen of the Year, Naracoorte Active Citizen Award and Naracoorte Community Event of the Year Award are proudly presented by the Australia Day Council of South Australia and administered by the Naracoorte Lucendale Council. The awards acknowledge the unsung heroes of our community who, through their contributions, make our community a better place. These individuals and organisations offer outstanding service each day and enable our community to be stronger as a result of their tireless efforts. Our first award, the Naracoorte Australia Day Citizen of the Year Award, will be proudly presented by Deputy Mayor Monique Crosling, who has had a long association with this year's recipient, Geraldine Matheson. Geraldine is being recognised for her outstanding contribution to families, children and youth in the community over many years.
Thank you, Mayor. Good morning, everybody. It is lovely to see so many wonderful faces here to celebrate Australia Day and to honour our Australia Day award recipients. And also to witness the New Year Citizen conferees, which will receive their Australian citizenship later in the program. Sorry, why? Come on, Brett. What's going on with this? There we go. Now, it was the greatest pleasure and privilege that I present the Naracoorte Australia Day Citizen of the Year Award for 2023 to Geraldine Matheson. Jerry, if you mind. Just get Jerry to stand here while I read out a little bit about what Jerry has done and achieved in her time here in Naracoorte. Jerry, as she is known to many of us, is a passionate advocate, supporter, mentor and friend to many within the community. Jerry started her working life in Naracoorte as a teacher at Michelle de Garis Memorial Kindergarten in 1982. Through her years in early childhood education, she has shown the importance of connection and community to those who follow in her footsteps. Her dedication, commitment and pure delight in being an advocate for children and their families is undoubted. The sheer number of children whose lives have been influenced and guided by Jerry's expertise is immeasurable. Jerry has given her all to Michelle de Garis Memorial Kindergarten, the children, its families and staff. Jerry celebrated 40 years at Michelle de Garis Memorial Kindergarten in February of last year and is now officially retired as a director. A truly inspiring achievement. Over the years, Jerry has been actively involved in many committees, sporting groups and community projects. Just to name some of her past commitments, as I'm sure I have missed some, they include committee member, including vice president, coach, player of the Kaibi Netball Club up until 2003, committee member of the Naracoorte Lucindale Council Sport and Recreation Committee, member of the Naracoorte Area Health Advisory Committee for 6 years, organiser of the Masters netball team, the Fossils, for over 10 years. And Jerry has worked together with Variety SA, the Naracoorte Lucindale Council, to obtain funding for a basket swing appropriate for all children, including those with disabilities, which was installed in the McDonald Street Playground in 2018. She is a strong advocate for the inclusion and believes that inclusivity should not be an optional extra in our society. Jerry is also a founding member of the Naracoorte Lucindale Community Care Network, which has recently celebrated its 10th birthday. The Naracoorte Lucindale Community Care Network is a wonderful volunteer-run organisation that has been set up to assist disadvantaged individuals and families with support during times of severe stress and provide response during emergency situations. Jerry is also a member of the Circle of Volunteers, where she works closely with ladies having English as a second language. She has also been a member of the Harmony Day Committee since its inception, and has encouraged children, families and the wider community to celebrate our diverse culture which reside in Naracoorte, to come together to foster inclusiveness and respect for one another. On her nomination, it stated that Geraldine wraps her arms around all cultures, making sure harmony is an assured part of education for all ages. Jerry sits on the committee of the Limestone Coast Multicultural Network, whose mission is to better inclusion of our local multicultural community. With her years of experience, and she now provides support for our new committee members and local events. She is a great friend and advocate of our local migrant community and has worked with multicultural children and their families through Michelle de Garrett Memorial Kindergarten, and has continued this friendship and support beyond the educational setting. Jerry has been proactive in assisting multicultural children with special needs gain access to specialists and services, working with the Naracoorte Migrant Resource Centre to create specialised programs for these families. She has also worked collaboratively with survivors of torture and trauma assistance and rehabilitation services for many years. She has supported their work and given invaluable insights into to enhance the holistic healing and journey recovery for families from migrant backgrounds. Jerry has been a constant in local force helping the multicultural community in Naracoorte, and her continued focus is to support families with their NDIS journeys. Her latest project has been setting up an Upper South East Women's Cancer Support Group, and she has attended cancer support facilitator training with aims to help women all over the South East. There are a few people you get to meet in your life that make such an impact as Jerry has in countless ways. The value of Jerry's support, dedication and personal contribution to families, children, youth and the multicultural sector and the wider community cannot be underestimated. Many people in the community are richer for having Jerry be a part of their lives and in this wonderful community. And I congratulate Jerry on being the Naracoorte Citizen of the Year for 2023. Your stuff.
Thanks, Mon. Those words are very, very kind. It's made me realise why I'm so tired. Yes, I certainly have appreciated the support. Thanks, Brett. Make it for short people. Okay, that's better. Thank you. People look at, you look at a list like that and you think, what do they say? Give a busy person, if you want a job done, give it to a busy person. But you can't do it on your own. It's the people that I have around me that make the difference and that actually make you think about, right, what can I do here? How can I make a difference in this community in lots of different ways. But it's the support. I've had some great people around me. My staff team at Michelle de Garris Kindergarten, the people that are on these other committees as well. You're not an island. You don't do it by yourself. But you have people that mentor you. People like Erica Vickery, OAM. You have Mon. All right. You have people that give you encouragement to continue doing what you're doing to make a difference. Yes, it does sound like a lot of things, but they are only all small things in a part of a bigger community picture. When I came here in 1982, yes, as a young raw-faced preschool teacher, I was very naive. I had come from Millicent, and I went, right, now is the time to make a difference. One of the first things that I discovered is that there are lots of families with children with special needs. So I went and did a Bachelor of Education in Special Ed. And then as a migrant community moved in, I thought, wow, these are very brave people. I certainly wouldn't have been able to do it. I would not have left my homeland with not knowing the language, with not knowing any other person, to move to a country that I knew nothing about. So I think that we need to admire the people that make these large steps. And I thought, if I can just make a small amount of difference, then, let's just do, anything you do is going to be better than nothing. I remember I went to a great workshop with Simon Breakspear, and he said, anything, 10% is better than nothing. And so it's, to make a difference. But as I say, and then when I made a decision to retire last year, I thought, right, I have a magnificent team. I left the kindergarten in the capable hands of Shani Weckett, who had been with me. I taught Shani at kindy. And, and then she was more than capable and ready to actually take over the reins. But it's also, as I said, the wider community that supports you to do these things. But then it's also family. I have never been able to do anything without my family. And once again, I come out in force. I've come from Mount Gambier, Millicent, Hamilton. Friends have come from Adelaide to help me celebrate this special day. And you don't just do it by yourself. And as I say, when Mon said about the Upper South East Women's Cancer Support Group, when we found out that there was no women's support group, a group of us said, right, well, we need to actually create one. And that's where it's at. I always say to people, you can run from me, but you cannot hide. So, and my families know that once I'm a part of their life, I'm there for all of their life. So, but I appreciate what the wider community have done to support me. I appreciate the people that nominated me. No idea where it came from. And I thank you all for coming along today. Enjoy the rest of your day.
Thank you, Geraldine. Most probably where my career is going. Now I have great pleasure that I present the Naracoorte Active Citizen of the Year Award to Kate Roach for her outstanding contribution to community as a wildlife carer over many years. In Kate's nomination for the award, she is described as a wildlife warrior who deserves accolades and recognition for her dedication to our wonderful and unique native animals. Kate has been a wildlife carer for orphaned and injured native animals and birds for more than 45 years. She is still caring today. Over the years, Kate has put countless long hours feeding and nurturing native animals. She goes to the rescue of everything from kangaroos and wallabies to wombats and emus, travelling all over the southeast at all times of the day and night. And of course, all of this comes at a significant cost, which he simply takes in her stride. Fuel, food, housing and permits. It's never been too much for Kate. Kingston vet Dr. Lou Schinkel, as a referee for Kate's nomination, and applauded how all of Kate's rescued animals were always exceptionally well looked after, and a real credit to her for her efforts. Dr. Schinkel said it was always a privilege to see what animals Kate had in her basket when she arrived for an appointment, from tiny pink wombats to lively cheeky wallabies and larger docile kangaroos. He said that when Kate first started raising orphaned marsupials in the mid-1980s, it was no easy task. It was no easy task, as there were no specific milk formulas for young marsupials, so there was a lot of trial and error, and also no access to many of the veterinary drugs that these days have been tried and tested on our native animals. There was also no such thing as thermostatically controlled electric blankets, and no information on the ideal temperatures to incubate the various species of differing ages. It was also a battle with the good old hot water bottle. Google was also still some way off, so raising young marsupial was fraught with heartache, as the long hours of the night feeding, changing hot water bottles and lots of washing gave no guarantee of success. Dr. Schinkel says Kate has always been very willing to share her amazing knowledge on raising marsupials, taking phone calls and giving advice to others who were also trying their best, which was help to educate people about our unique wildlife. Congratulations, Kate.
This is a great honour to be standing here. 50 years ago, when I got my first kangaroo, I never thought I'd be standing up here getting an award. Oh, cry. Yes, I do love my little animals. Baked on the barbie or in the camp oven? No, no, no. It's so nice to get a little tiny kangaroo or whatever that's got no fur, eyes shut, ears stuck to their head. Got to feed them every 2 hours to have them grow up to be a 38 or a 40 kilo wombat, or a 6-foot kangaroo, or a little tiny wallaby that follows you around like a little shadow. So I'd like to thank all the public for bringing me any little tiny animal, and also the staff out the caves. And I'd like to thank people who donate blankets and things like that for me to make little bags for them. And also I'd like a big thank you to whoever nominated me. Thank you.
They are too. Now, it is with great pleasure that I present the Naracoorte Australia Day Community Event of the Year to the Naracoorte High School's Pathways to Pay Packet Community Event and Agricultural Expo and Field Day. Tammy. The Pathways to Packet involved more than 40 organisations, including further tertiary education institutions, other training providers, local businesses and volunteer groups. More than 300 community members attended. The event provided valuable information for young people and their families from the Naracoorte and the wider Limestone Coast region to assist in decision making around their career paths. The Agricultural Expo and Field Day attracted schools from around the region, from Keith to Allendale East and across to Kingston. Sponsored by Hagi Machinery and Implements, it gave students from around the region the opportunity to discover new technologies in agriculture, in the agricultural industry, through workshops. More than 150 young people from the Limestone Coast region attended the Expo and Field Day, and 5 intensive interactive workshops were held by industry partners. The students rotated through all the workshops throughout the day, exposing them to the innovative world of agriculture. Prior to the events, the opportunity for local businesses to connect with potential employees and grow their workforce had proven to be a challenge. And as a result of both Pathways to Pay Packet event and the Agricultural Expo and Field Day, numerous students have since gained employment and apprenticeships within our community. They have also made valuable connections with local industries. Congratulations again to Naracoorte's Australia Day Community Event of the Year representatives, and I invite you to take this opportunity to respond, Tammy. And then I'll give you your...
Thank you. Okay.
Ladies and gentlemen, thanks, Mayor Patrick Ross, invited guests, guest speaker Dida, and other award winners. I'd like to thank the Australia Day Council of South Australia and the Naracoorte-Lucindale Council for this wonderful honour and recognition of the Pathways to a Pay Packet and Agricultural Career Expo and Field Day held last year at Naracoorte High School. As Patrick mentioned, the focus of the Pathways to a Pay Packet event was to provide information about career pathways from local experts within their fields. Over 40 businesses and representatives from universities and other registered training organisations attended the event that attracted over 300 community participants. A mixture of expo stands and guest speakers brought together a wealth of expertise and information for community members to learn from. I personally would like to thank all of those in our community that contributed to the event. Without their attendance and ongoing support, the event would not have been possible. And I accept the award on behalf of all of them. Thank you to Naracoorte Elders, Ball Brothers, Civil Train, Local Jobs Program, Sinclair Electrical, TAFE SA, University of Adelaide, SAPOL, MAS, Murray Nankiville, Naracoorte CFS, Tees Naracoorte, Mini Jumbuck, Smiles All Round, Hello World Travel, Good Country Physio, Naracoorte-Lucindale Council, The Coffee Pit, Shearer Wool Handler Training, Pinkerton Palm, Hamlin and Steen, Wickham Flour, Southern Australian Livestock, Flinders University, Flinders Allied Health, Naracoorte Childcare, McDonald's Naracoorte, Lincoln Residential College, Longeron College, Nutrient Ag Solutions, UniSA Mount Gambier, MEGT, Seasoned Catering, Southeast Power Networks, Australian Rare Earth, Limestone Coast Motorcycle and Small Engines, Group Training Employment, Longridge Aged Care, Perza Thomas Elder Institute, MITA 10, South East Marina Motorcycles and Limestone Coast Training. Thank you all for helping to inspire others in our community, providing them the information they need to discover their own unique pathways for the future. A true community event, one for our entire community. I look forward to working with businesses and further training institutions to bring together Pathways to a Pay Packet 2023. Another event that Naracoorte High School hosted last year was the Agricultural Career Expo. Approximately 150 secondary students with a passion for agriculture, along with agriculture and pathways staff, came together at Naracoorte High School for a hands-on interactive agricultural career expo. The Crop Science Investigations program aimed to engage students in how research and innovative technology are being used to solve global problems, such as the emerging food crisis. Students from Naracoorte, Allendale East, Bordertown, Grant, Kangaroo Inn and Penola participated in the program. The Field Day and Expo featured key topics such as plant breeding and genetics, precision agriculture, agricultural engineering and machinery innovation, virtual reality and disease monitoring. The program was delivered with the support from Naracoorte machinery dealer Hagi Tractors and Implements and Ag Communicators. The high school is grateful for the program delivery partners, including Hagi's, CNH Industrial Elders, Perza, Thomas Elder Institute and Crop Scan Ag. Naracoorte High School is honoured to be recognised today and grateful for the partnerships and connections we have within our community. We look forward to continuing to develop and strengthen these in the future. Thank you to everyone that recognises it takes a village to raise our youth, and we are fortunate to be part of such a great village. Congratulations to Geraldine and Kate on the awards that you've received today, and thank you for all that you have done and continue to do to contribute to our community.
Just at that moment, I'd like to just acknowledge what Tammy said about the generosity of the businesses within our region that have helped our young citizens further their job prospects for the future. It's now time for the citizenship ceremony. It is now with great pleasure that I invite to the stage the following people for our very special Australia Day citizenship ceremony. Enrique, Carl, Sebastian Panucio and Rowena Ramos, please come forward. The country of origin of this family group is the Philippines. On Australia Day, on Australia Day we come together as a nation to celebrate what is great about living in this country and what we love about being Australian. It is a day to reflect on what it means to be Australian, whether it is by birth or by choice, what we have achieved or what we can be proud of in our great nation, our home. We celebrate the characteristics and values that make us proud to call ourselves Australian citizens. Our people, our land, our diversity, our equality, our freedom and democracy, and our sense of a fair go for all. Australian citizenship ceremonies are an important part of Australia Day celebrations, and this ceremony is one of many being held around the country today. Today marks a special and important step in the lives of each of you, our conferees, and for those sharing this occasion with you, because today you will become Australian citizens. By the end of today's ceremony, we will have welcomed 4 new Australian citizens into our family. I congratulate all conferees for their commitment you have made to being part of Australia's future. Unfortunately, the Minister for Immigration, Citizenship and Multicultural Affairs, the Honourable Andrew Giles MP, is unable to be here, but he did ask that I pass on his congratulations and best wishes and ask that I read the following message to you. Thank you for deciding to become Australian citizens. Today, you join in a nation that is one of the world's most successful multicultural societies, with around half of all Australians either born overseas or with at least one parent born overseas. In Australia, everyone can be proud of who they are, and everyone should be respected, valued and feel a sense of belonging. We are privileged to share this beautiful country with the world's oldest continuing culture. This is a fundamental part of who we are. For more than 65,000 years, First Nations people have cared for country. Appreciating and understanding this truth is a vital part of what it means to be Australian. Australians are united by our shared commitment to democracy and the rule of law, and the freedom of speech, religion and association. Our diversity is our greatest strength, and we prosper by embracing this. We believe in a society in which everyone is equal, regardless of their gender, faith, sexual orientation, age, ability, race, national or ethnic origin. Ours is a land of the fair go, in which we respect and compassion underpins our care for each other and our willingness to reach out to those around us in times of need. By becoming Australian citizens, you make a commitment to these values and to contribute to our evolving Australian story. On behalf of the Australian Government, heartfelt congratulations to becoming Australian citizens, Andrew Giles. Becoming an Australian citizen is a step that shows loyalty to Australia and the desire to share a common future. It is an honour to confer Australian citizenship to people who appreciate the value of our society so much that they wish to become one of us and make Australia their home. I warmly congratulate our citizenship conferees today for taking the final step in their journey to become Australian citizens, and I look forward to seeing the contribution that each of you will make to Australia. We now turn to the formal part of the ceremony, which is conducted in accordance with the Australian Citizenship Act 2007. As part of the legal requirements for today's citizenship ceremony, I will read the preamble of Schedule 1 of the Australian Citizenship Regulation 2016. Australian citizenship represents full and formal membership of the community of the Commonwealth of Australia, and Australian citizenship is a common bond involving reciprocal rights and obligations, uniting all Australians while respecting their diversity. Persons on whom Australian citizenship is conferred enjoy these rights and undertake to accept these obligations. A, by pledging loyalty to Australia and its people. B, by sharing their democratic beliefs. And C, by respecting their rights and liberties and upholding and obeying the laws of Australia. I would now ask the conferees to come forward and say the pledge. Enrico, Gambio, Panucio, Carl, so please come forward, just up here please. Thank you, lovely, lovely. So I have Enrico at the far end, Gambio, Panucio, I have Carl next, Carl Casey Ramos, Panucio, I have Sebastian Owen Ramos, Panucio, and I have Rowena Aquino Ramos. Please repeat this pledge line by line after me. You can say it at the same time if you wish. From this time forward, under God, I pledge my loyalty to Australia and its people. Whose democratic beliefs I share. Whose rights and liberties I respect. And whose laws I will uphold and obey. Ladies and gentlemen, please join with me in welcoming our newest Australian citizens. Now we have just witnessed, we've all witnessed Australia's newest citizens make their public pledge of commitment. I would like everyone to participate in the Australian citizenship ceremony. The Australian Citizenship Affirmation was introduced in 1999 and is becoming an integral part of Australia Day celebrations. The words of affirmation are based on the pledge we have just witnessed our new citizens make. Participation is voluntary and carries no legal status. Participating in the affirmation ceremony is a means of expressing our pride in being Australian and provides an opportunity to affirm our loyalty to Australia and its people. The words of the affirmation can be found at the back of your program. Everybody is welcome to participate. Non-citizens are invited to join the affirmation at the second line. So if you would like to take part, I invite you to stand now. So you can repeat after me. As an Australian citizen, I affirm my loyalty to Australia and its people, whose democratic rights, democratic beliefs I share, whose rights and liberties I respect, and whose laws I uphold and obey. Thank you very much. You may be seated. Thank you very much for that participation. Congratulations to our new citizens and to citizens who are born in Australia and those who have become citizens more recently. Zach.
That concludes the formalities for our Australia Day ceremony.
Please join us once again in congratulating our Australia Day award winners and our newest Australian citizens.
Thanks, Zach and Cam. Of course, Zach is an incredible public speaker, and I'm sure he's going to go on to great things, and they're our new joint school captains. Thank you very much. Thank you, everybody, for coming. This concludes the formal part of today's program. Have a great day. The clouds will go away, the sun will shine, and enjoy Australia Day. Thank you. Thanks, Brett.